Before I get into these great books by Don Kilam, $1 million with the game, okay, right here. I'm talking to you though. I'm talking to you. Listen, anytime you issue credit, don't you go to the store, debit or credit. Think about it. A debit is a negative, credit is a positive. So anytime you give them a credit, credit means loan. You can't get credit without your social. You got the card right in your hand, credit. You just claim the interest. You're giving the store a loan. There's no money in America. It's fiat currency, Federal Reserve note. Every Federal Reserve note out here is a loan to the public. That's what a lot of people don't understand. So anytime you issue credit, you're giving them a loan, you gotta learn how to claim it. If you know that Social Security is a trust, why are you still claiming that you're an individual on them forms? Shouldn't you be claiming it as a trust? Just think about that. $1 million with the game, can't touch this, part of the same collection. Go to Amazon and get this. You see how thick this is. Everybody claims they want redemption, remedy. Well, learn the game. This is the true redemption manual right here. Can't Touch This by Don Kilam. Teach you about true redemption in commerce, okay? Everything's in commerce. Everything is commercial. But if you're new to the game, $1 million with the game by Don Kilam. I'm a living example. As simple as that. Learn more about your boy. Support the craft. Hip hop, entertainment. That's where we're coming next. So support it. Much peace and love.
Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. You're now rocking to the sound and vibrations of your boy, Don Kilam, also known as Malik Kalam. And as always, prosperity is your divine birthright. Peace and love. You want to learn more? Text Private Life to 480-573-4879. Click the link in the bio. School.com/Don Kilam. Y'all see the background. Y'all see it in the background, man. Yeah, just be observant. That's all. That's how you know you're a boss. You got yourself playing in the background on the projection system, man. That's boss shit to me. But I've been loving the calls that I've been having. Been switching a lot of stuff around. If you're part of the private community, we got a call this weekend. I mean, this Wednesday, I think. Yeah. This Wednesday, I gotta do some stuff on Tuesday. But check this out. The trademarking is what you need to know first. That's what I'm teaching everybody out the gate. I even gave it away to the public. The basics, all right? The basics. So listen, check this out. I've helped people who actually trademark the footprint. Let that sink in. You know the footprint when you're born, they stamp it. They stamp the sole of your foot. They stamp the sole. They prop the sole. Yeah, you could trademark that. Just think about it, man. Just think about it. Does that make sense? Why are there no classes in college on credit or finance or anything? Well, this is a private education. So you got to understand the difference between private and public. A public education, public is part of the economy that the government controls. And that's what I bring up to people. I'm like, think about it, public housing, public assistance. That's all coming from the government. It's government housing, government assistance. You get a public defender, they work for the government. So you got to think about that, man. So, and someone says taking back ownership. No, it's own nothing, control everything. It's taking back control. All right. You really can't own nothing anyways. Everything is atoms, particles, belongs to God. And that's why the natives looked at the people crazy when they asked to buy land. Because you can't buy land really. You can't buy the sky. You can't buy air. But let the system tell it you can, you know? So no one can, so even in the system, they can't own land. They can only own property. They can only control property. So, and that's I'm not trying to get too deep on that today, but I even tell people with a mortgage. But where's the land at? Where's the land at? They turn the allodial title, they turn the land trust into a property description. And that's what happens to you. You was of the land, and then they put you in a contract. When you create this birth certificate, that's a covenant outside your God. That's a covenant outside your maker. Now they're saying they're your maker. So that's why we don't even utilize the birth certificate. Like we can't identify with the birth certificate because that's a covenant outside your God. That's your first sin. That's a sin right there. You're not supposed to make a covenant. That's part of the Ten Commandments, which is real law. If you're under the Ten Commandments, that supersedes statutes, codes, even the Constitution. This is a first irrevocable trust in their system. If you're under the Christianity faith, if you understand law, they told you Moses was the layman. They told you Moses was the lawman. That was even in the New Testament. Jesus spoke that. I know that much. But I just need you to understand when you understand law. And then you can also break that down because when you understand that the Bible is a fact in the courtroom, that's why you have to swear upon it. The Bible is a fact in the courtroom. That's why you have to swear upon it. I'm just let that sink in for a second. Y'all, if this is making sense, drop a fire emoji of 100. Hashtag preach something. Let me know. I don't want to lose the congregation now. So you got to understand estate planning bypasses probate. I was talking about this today in one of my private calls. Estate planning bypasses probate. And when you understand estate planning, when you understand trust, when you understand wills, you understand you got the will and testament. A will and testament. So you got the Old Testament and the New Testament. So this is part of your will. This is part of your lineage when you're even bringing the Bible in the courtroom or into the public. And you got to understand who you are. So when you're using that birth certificate, that's making you a Roman slave status. And you got to think about it. When you understand everything's in trust, the Social Security numbers is part of the trust, Social Security Trust Administration. All right. Not only people that can be trustees is the government. The average individual, you have to be part of the government to be a trustee of that. Or it's for beneficial use, and that's why you have no power. That's why you get taxed every time when you're using the social. And you got to think about it. When the social dies, you die. You can't hand down, when you die, the social dies, you cannot hand down generational wealth with the Social Security number. And that's why I need people to understand. You cannot hand down, you have the car in the social, you have a bank account in the social. You cannot hand this shit down to your future generation. It stops right there. That's where the buck stops. And that's why you need to learn private trustee training. That's why you need to learn family trust. All right? Family trust. Because everybody is already operating and engaging in the trust system. Your name is the title. Your name is the brand. Individuals cannot hand down generational wealth. Only families can. And I'm hoping this is making sense. So what the whole purpose of trustee training is to learn how to operate in a tax-free position. So you can hand down your wealth and your assets tax-free in a private capacity outside the scope of any government or creditors. Okay? This is importance of the unity in a family trust. Or you could call it a tribal trust. You can call it a clansman's trust. It might sound crazy right now, but I'm dropping you game right now. Because a family means servant. And the public family is servant. They own family services. Think about that. All right. So they can give their slaves things. Hey, here's you're our family. When the government says they're your family, that means you are their servant. I need you to understand that. A lot of people don't understand that. We'll break down the etymology. You understand etymology. You start breaking that shit down. It's going to say the servant of a household. That's the etymology. Servant of a household. I want you to know it means slave. A servant, a slave. Y'all see it. Same way with native. There's a lot. There's a lot. So there's words you have to stay away from. There is words you have to stay away from when you're operating and doing these things, okay? When you're dealing with your private family trust. So your private clansman trust. Whatever you want to call it, I'm not gonna drop a lot of game. You need to tap in with the private. But the 508c1a ministry is a trust that can be used all over the world. Okay? Worldwide, Craig. Top flight security of the world, Craig. You understand? Now, when they ask who the grantor is, you always say the family. This is game right here. When you understand the family trust, the family foundations, when you learn how to create these pass-throughs, all right? Because you're going to have you a nonprofit, have you some LLCs, some operating companies, depending on what works for you, all right? So your last name is the wealth. You have to understand that. And when you die, you can hand down your wealth either publicly or privately. So you got to understand, paying taxes is not for everyone. Taxes is for those who come from uninformed families. Taxes is for those who come from uninformed families. So if there's no trust, if there's no will, it will be in something called a testate position, and it will go through probate. So these are trustee words right here. It'll be in a testate position, and we'll go through probate. Let me see if I can just find you a simple definition. So you get the New Testament. A testate estate means the descendant or deceased person that left a will, which disposes of his or her property. So there you go. Testate means dying with the will. So I just want to give you some key words, okay? So if there's no trust or will, it'll be held in a testate position and go through probate, which that means that the state, the public, is going to decide where this goes. This goes to the oldest. This goes to the husband. This goes to the wife. This goes with wherever. But there's going to be a tax involved. And when you're dealing with the public craft, you're dealing with public attorneys, they're always going to make it where you have to go through the court system. Now, if you have your assets protected privately, you can bypass probate, period. That's what happens when you have your trust established correctly. So that's the importance of having a family trust. That's the importance of being around informed families. The basis of the court system today is because the public U.S. citizens are U.S. property. A U.S. citizen means, listen, well, I'm gonna pull up the code for you. I'm gonna pull up the code for you, man. I'm gonna pull up the code for you. So you can understand this ain't me right here. I'm not gonna tell you wrong. United States business. United States business. All right. 15 USC 4724E. United States business means a U.S. citizen.
We'll be back after a quick break.
In a world where the tax system can seem overwhelming, one book is here to guide you towards financial empowerment. Introducing The Capitalizing Namepreneur, Unleashing the Power of Tax Credits by best-selling author Don Kilam. Are you looking to demystify the complexities of taxes and harness the power of tax credits? The Capitalizing Namepreneur provides an understanding of effectively utilizing your tax credits. Discover the secrets behind setting up a tax firm, understanding the strawman name, protecting your assets, and navigating the implications of the Social Security Trust Fund. Don Kalam's expertise shines through every page. It's like having a personal financial advisor by your side. Get your copy of The Capitalizing Namepreneur today and unlock the power of tax credits to enhance your financial well-being. Order your copy now and take control of your tax strategies. The Capitalizing Namepreneur: Unleashing the Power of Tax Credits by Don Kalam. Available now at leading bookstores and online. Get your copy today.
I hope everybody got that. So that's not my definition. That's a real federal code. United States business means U.S. citizen. So if you're a U.S. citizen, you're United States business. When you put stuff in that Social Security trust, which is necessitated by use, which means you're going to be the beneficiary, this means everything your assets, everything even your labor, you're pledging it to the United States corporation. The public, you're pledging it to the government. That's where the government can be in your business. And even take your kids. Because with the birth certificate, this says they're your maker. I'm going to let that sink in because a lot of people not understanding this. You say you follow God. You say, I don't care what. Listen, there's not a religious book. There's not a history book out there that says that the government was for you. So why would you sign your baby's essence on a birth certificate? That's why when you go to the hospital and that's how they identify you, you can't leave until they say you can leave. Because you came from an uninformed family. You didn't know to make a family trust and donate to the hospital and the private. So you can be part of the family that donates to the hospital so you can get a private practice correctly. All right? Because that's what they do. They private practice on you. It's called private practice for a reason. Come on now, talk to me. They don't find cures. They find dollars. They don't find cures, they find dollars, man. Because you came from an uninformed family. So the elite strictly move in trust. However, there's still wealthy families that still create corporate structures, all right? Is this making sense, everybody? Let me know, man. Let me know. Let me know making sense. Fire emojis 100. Y'all gotta let me know this is making sense. I'm telling you why you should tap in with Don Kalam. I'm gonna give you the game like you're supposed to be given the game. You gotta come up around OGs and old heads because they're gonna tell you, listen, man, everybody in the hood, there's somebody in the hood that knows everything that I'm telling you right now. Go tap in with that OG. Go buy him some liquor or something. You know what I mean? Go tap in. Go sit down. Go sit down with your elite, you know? And go learn some wisdom from the streets, man. Listen, there's not a hood out here where a motherfucker will allow you to go call them by the government name. Now tell me that's not sovereignty. Huh? Huh? Pookies, the man-mans. You call them by their government name, they might shoot you. Listen, I can't make this up. You can learn sovereignty. That's the way you can learn sovereignty. Don't be scared, just pay attention. Pay attention. Straight up. So individuals cannot hand down wealth, all right? Only families. Now, a trust can do everything a person can do except vote. All right? Y'all silly. A trust can do everything a person can do except not vote. Vote. Now listen, so this is pay attention, not bills. I need y'all to understand. So with a family trust, because when you understand that everything is a write-off when your name is the business, okay? The trust benefits for your name being a business because it's the trust business. You understand? So with that being stated, the difference between an informed family and an uninformed family. So an uninformed family looks at things as bills. Oh, it's a bill. An informed family is going to be like, it's a deductible. Okay? A deductible. It's an operational cost. I hope that makes sense. Deductible, able to be deducted, especially from taxable income or tax to be paid. It's a deductible. So it's not a bill, it's a deductible. This is something that can be deducted. If it's if like you gotta understand this. There's churches out there. Listen, I'm telling you, you can learn everything from the hood. There's people that go to churches to apply to get their bills paid. Correct? And the church will pay their bills. Right or wrong? I need to make sure somebody's with me. So why would a church want to pay somebody's bills? Because it's a deduction. The church will pay the church members' bills. That's family. It's a deduction. So when you have your own family, listen, there's every celebrity, every basketball player, they all got their the Stephon Marbury, the Steve Curry Foundation. Whoever your favorite basketball player is, it's their name in the foundation. Donate to this foundation. That's everybody. So you need to understand why they're doing this. Somebody put them on game. That's who buys the private jets. That's who pays for your clothes. You got your own goodwill. You got your own goodwill. The goodwill's for the family. It's for the private members of the family, for the private members of the family trust. Come on, talk to me, man. Talk to me. This shit is not rocket science. And listen, I go through this. Because, listen, when every business that you start, there's always going to be startup costs. And you should be recording startup costs for every business that you create. Because if the business goes in the red, you get this back. If it's just one person on the business, per business, you get up to $250,000 that you can write off in deductibles before you get audited, before there's red flags. I'm just saying, I'm not a licensed attorney tax expert. I do this for educational and informational purposes only. And when you understand that your name is the business, you're working for the family. You work for the family. What did the Waltons do? Gucci, I'm sure that's a family name. Calvin Klein. You know, the list goes on and on and on and on. Michael Jordan, Donald Trump. These are fucking names. This shit's not rocket science, man. Come on, people. Are you with me? I'm trying to drop you game that should be like common knowledge. So that's why your name should be trademarked. This is why your name, your essence, your signature, your thumbprint, all of this shit needs to be trademarked. The essence of you needs to be trademarked and copyrighted. All right? Under the family trust. You work for the family. And it's not about you now, it's about the family. Families hold wealth. So when you're in a correct tax position, you can protect your assets with the trust. You have a right to contract. A private attorney knows how to administer a law. It doesn't need power from the state. I'm going to say this again. A private attorney, because there's attorneys in the private, they know how to administer a law and they don't need power from the state. All right? You cannot use public entities which the state controls because public entities is what the state controls. It's called the public sector. So you create entities that can operate in almost any jurisdiction tax-free. Now, this is called tax avoidance, not tax evasion. And just Article 1, Section 10, you have the right to contract in the private. And then if you want to use case law, because in the private, that's what you use is case law. There's no codes, no statutes. It's strictly case law. And that's Gregory versus Helvering. That's a court case. And it clearly establishes tax avoidance and how to establish your affairs by giving up ownership. It's own nothing, control everything. You use superior entities. Private always comes before the public. The private is based upon hard assets, all right? And the public, they're using full faith and credit. And the private, you cannot default because it's quid pro quo, something for something. In the public, you can be in debt. Look at the United States. The federal corporation is under bankruptcy. The public is a debt position. This is why the public is created. It's created for insurance purposes. The Social Security number is insurance. It's insurance policies. It's insurance. We can look it up. We can look up. What is this? Let's look it up, man. Let's just look it up so y'all know I'm not lying. Because I know a lot of y'all ain't going to do it. What is the Social Security number? What is the Social Security? The Social Security program in the United States provides protection against the loss of earnings due to retirement, death, or disability. The financial operation of the program are handled through the Old Age and Survivors Insurance and Disability Insurance Trust Funds. I can't make this shit up. I couldn't make this shit up if I tried. Let me share this shit with I'm recording this for my school. But check this out, man. I can't make this shit up. The Social Security program in the United States provides protection against the loss of earnings due to retirement, death, or disability. The financial operations of the programs are handled through the Old Age and Survivors Insurance and Disability Insurance Trust Funds. Now, and what I'm trying to tell you, they use it in the Treasury and invest in securities, some shit you didn't know nothing about. Some shit you did not agree to. You follow me? That's what I'm saying. It's my money and I want it now. Looking ass. That's what I would say. So understand it's insurance policies. And the insurance policy was created by legislative act. So it's not going to benefit you. It's going to benefit legislation. It's insurance for legislation. It's insurance for the government. Not you. Let that shit sink in. You can only control what you create. So quit chasing that motherfucker is what I'm trying to say. Learn how to get your power back. I don't own the name. I work for the fucking name. All right? I work for the name. You've been working for the fucking name. The name's created. You didn't create it. Your mind created it and created it to the government. So you got to learn how to take that shit back. You've been working for the name. So don't give up your position. Just learn how to control it and manage it differently. You understand? Quit being the beneficiary. First of all, you got to learn how to create your own government because you know you're going to use this shit at an administrative position. That's how you do it as a boss, as a corporation. All right? As a corporation, as a trust. You got to move like they move, man. You know how they access it with car lots? Open up a car lot. You can access it that way, just like they did. Open up a bank. Open up a fucking government. Open up a tribe. How about you open up a church? Pledge all your labor to God. They can't interfere with a covenant with your higher power. That's game right there. But trust protects you from lawsuits. You gotta understand, if you have shit in your Social Security number, you have shit in your government name, you can be sued for it. That's not a position you want to be in. Just let that shit sink in. You could be sued for it. It's not a private position. Even if you got gold and silver and you don't have it protected correctly, it can be confiscated. You got to learn how to put things that are non-confiscatable. The private position is a superior position. All right? The right trust, the right family trust will protect you from lawsuits. It's always business, it's not personal. Family trust, business vehicles, family trust, business houses. Learn how to deal with arm's length dealing. When you're dealing with the family trust, it's called arm's length dealing. I'm just dropping y'all some game, man. I'm just going back in my old notes, man. Offshore trust, man. At the end of the day, everything you gotta have you have to learn how to create liaisons in other countries. Yeah, I just got hip to the word too, liaison. But you have liaisons in other countries, you have holding companies in other countries as well. This is the shit we go over in the private school, man. But in America, I do a holding company. The beneficial owners of my holding company is usually a 508c1A. And my holding companies are in Nevada. All right. You don't have to report to the IRS. You can remain anonymous if that's what you choose to do. All right. And then with the 508c1As, you can set up anywhere, but you just gotta let them know it's a 508c1A. And or unincorporated association. You feel me? If that makes sense for everybody, man. But I'm just dropping game today, letting y'all know what it is. Y'all see me in the background on the projection screen, man. I'm about to get back to work. I still got work to do. I'm moving and grooving, man. But y'all funny. But make sure y'all text private line to 480-573-4079. If you find this information valuable, make sure you drop a donation on the Cash App. I don't care if it's $1, $10, $50, $100. I don't care. Just drop a donation. And it's Dream Keepers Radio. Dream Keepers Radio. DreamKeepers Radio. Radio. Dream Keepers Radio on the Cash App. Much peace and love. Remember, prosperity is your divine birthright. Peace.
Are you ready to unlock the secrets of commerce and build an empire that lasts for generations? Look no further. Introducing $1 Million Worth of Game by Don Kilam, your official guide to the private and public side of commerce. In this groundbreaking book, Don Kilam reveals the strategies and insider knowledge you need to create and protect your wealth. Learn how to navigate the intricate world of commerce, master the art of building an empire, and secure a lasting legacy for your family. Get your hands on $1 Million Worth of Game today and embark on a transformative journey toward financial abundance. Don't miss out on the opportunity to build your empire and secure a prosperous future for generations to come. Get ready to conquer the world of commerce. $1 Million Worth of Game by Don Kilam, your ultimate guide to building an empire and leaving a legacy. $1 Million Worth of Game by Don Kilam. Available now. Get your copy and start your journey to generational wealth.